saying a hearty take off, eh? To Justin Trudeau. Adam Carolla.
See ya, puss. See ya, puss. And listen, we tried the experiment. It doesn't work. Just pussies. Hit the fucking bricks. Go ruin some other country or some other state. Your way doesn't work. Your way, I wish your way worked. It doesn't. It's sad. It's sad that's where we're at.
Put on your walking socks.
Oh, he's such a puss.
Hoser.
Oh, I love it when he has to get up there. His last thing was lecturing us because we didn't elect a woman, but an incompetent woman. That's the part they don't tell you, is we didn't elect an incompetent woman. He weeps for us because we're still so, misogynistic. The best clip of Justin Trudeau is, I love it when people get fucked up on when he was trying to give the LGBTQ spirit plus thing and he just fucked it up. It's like bitten by your own snake. You know what I mean? Like they added so many letters that they can't, and they change every 2 weeks that he couldn't get them all out in the right order. I don't know, you remember that, Dawson? It was like 2 years ago or something.
Big plus.
Yeah. Listen to me. I was thinking about this from yesterday. We have this clip. It's a grace. That's so like I don't remember. I
never saw it.
I hated dudes. Also, I saw a picture of him. Telltale sign. It's got the rope bracelet. It's got the yarn. Any guy with a string bracelet out. You cannot govern. You're too big a puss. My daughter. Yeah. Your daughter made it for you. In your desk drawer. You know that super thin drawer at the very top that's only like an inch deep?
Stick it.
That's what that's for. Shit your daughter makes you and wants you to put on. I'm keeping it safe in my desk, honey.
How big is it good?
All right, sorry, we have this. Sorry. Oh, by the way, I love the fact that everyone's wearing a mask. Did anyone ever think about this during COVID? Everyone who wasn't talking was required to wear a mask, but everyone who was talking didn't have to wear a mask.
Hey, I thought we were done with COVID. I know, but I thought we're done. It's behind us, like the divorce. It's over with.
People are in the back breathing through their nose, and you're gesticulating and spitting on people with no mask.
Upon your mask.
All right, sorry. Let's hear her. That'll make me laugh.
I will never apologize.
He won't apologize.
For standing up for an LBG.
Yeah, okay, homo. Hit the bricks. Hit the bricks, homo.
You're out.
Kids' rights.
All right. He's never going to apologize for standing up for marginalized. Okay, hero. Hit the fucking bricks, you pussy. Take your fucking rope bracelet with you. Your little yarn bracelet. Hit the fucking bricks. Go ruin some other country. I'll never apologize. Oh, I'm so fucking tired of everyone and the way they sound. Also, I don't know what any of it means. I'm telling you, the LGBT. Let's hear him apologize. Let's hear him never apologize one more time. He's not going to apologize. By the way, did anyone ever ask anyone to apologize for defending a marginalized group?
I will never apologize for standing up for an LGBTQ2 plus.
The resignation with which he says it is beautiful. LGBTQ, fine.
Yeah. I do the dude version of this. The straight version of this is like Le Mans race categories, where I'm like, is it, they're racing L and P or GT1 or GT3 or L and P2? There's a million classes at Le Mans.
I know zero. Yeah,
and we'll get that's the straight version of this. All right, here's some more health club talk for you.
All right.
I was swung by the Equinox on the way in. I was telling you that cold tub was like 55 degrees last time because it was like lukewarm because everyone had just. There's a long line of people walking out of the sauna and into it. The bodies, the nonstop bodies hot bodies covered with sweat, warm. I went today. I was like, God, that fucking cold tub. I hope that thing's in the 40s. I walked in there it was filled with ice.
Nice.
And it was 36 degrees.
But that's the man test right there.
I was like,
did you hit it?
Yeah, I fucking hit it. 36, 4 minutes, man. I was like, holy shit. I wasn't looking for the 30s. I was looking for the 40s. And by the way, 45 to like 48 is enough. I'd never done 30s. They were dumping buckets of ice in there. And
just add a little Armo sweat, and it'll be up to 50.
I had to go for it, which I did. But the other thing in the world of complaints is we got too many fucking rules, and so like I went upstairs to the bar. They got the bulletproof coffee and stuff. They're gonna have the bulletproof coffee and whatever. It's just a little area that serves coffee and has, makes smoothies or whatever, right? I go in there, try to get a cup of coffee. I'm like, you guys not open? No, we're not open. I'm like, I don't get it. The gym's been open for 2 weeks. What, can't brew up some coffee or what's going on? They're like, waiting to get our certificate from the health department. I'm like, oh, of course, somebody from the fucking city has to issue you something to let you sell something that's liquid to somebody else, and there's always a fucking delay. You want to know why? They don't give a fuck. They don't care if you get your certificate or this shit's open or not open or whatever it is. Now, if you did open it without the certificate, then they would show up and they would care and they would fuck you up. But that was number one. Number two, I'm sitting in the cold tub, and dudes who work at the club are coming around like giving a tour or something. And guys looking at me sitting in a tub of ice, it's like, cold enough? I'm like, yeah, cold. Thank God they make you wear trunks because, no gym dick in that situation, no leather face.
Turtle headed.
So you're right. So somebody comes out of the sauna and they go, the sauna isn't really hot. It's not really hot. And everyone is in the sauna. It's like, yeah, it's warm, but it's not hot. We'd like it hot. And the guy goes, yeah, they put the thermostat sensor directly above the heated rocks. Now, the fucking sauna is like a 20-person sauna. It's like 12 feet wide and 16 feet deep. So you may be sitting 10 feet away from the rocks. All the heat goes up and gets captured directly above it by the thermostat. So that's 160 degrees. 12 feet away, it's 95 degrees because the thing of rocks in the corner's not doing it.
Wrestler trick. Wrestler trick. You take a washcloth, put it in that cold plunge that you were just in, walk back in there and stick it on the thermostat.
That's a good idea.
One guy mans up and leans over the hot rocks with the cold, and then boom, it's up again.
Yep. You're right. Because I think the ceiling's too high. I'm trying to think. Oh. That's okay. That's good. Or we do what...
you could splash water on it, too. I've seen that technique.
Really?
Yeah, where you throw cold water at the thing until it cools up.
How about we go Saving Private Ryan with the sticky bomb sock?
Exactly.
I take my sock, I smear Vaseline all over it, I put it in the cold plunge, and I throw the sticky bomb on it, and I just stick it, fucking bitch. So the guy's out there, and he's like, so everyone's like, well, the sauna's not really hot. And then the guy's like, yeah, they put the thermostat directly above. I'm like, well, first off, first sauna rodeo? Like, who's designing the fucking sauna? The thermostat should be 12 feet from the fucking, not right above it.
Yeah.
But that's weird, right? Like, it's directly above the rocks. I went and looked up at it. I was like, of course it's going to just heat up and shut up. By the way, someone had to know this is going on, right? You put, I would argue that the thermostat that senses to shut it off should be somewhere in the midway point of the sauna room, not directly above the coals where nobody is. All right, number one. So then the guy goes, person in the sauna who wasn't getting the heat, he's like, well, can you turn it up? And the guy's like, by law, we can't because it's at max. So the max is 160 or 180 or whatever the fucking max is by law. But it's right above the rocks where nobody presides. I'm sitting 10 feet away and it's 95 degrees. It's not 160, but by law, you get a lukewarm sauna and no fucking coffee upstairs. That's by law. And I just thought, how much of this?
Them American Express points ain't paying for shit.
Do they want, but the club doesn't want to turn it up. Is that what's going on? The club doesn't.
I always hear everything is liability. Liability.
Everything is liability. Yeah.
So everyone's afraid to get sued because we have a culture of suing everybody.
It is true.
Yeah.
It is true. But why design it? Like, here's what I'm saying. You walk into the sauna, it is not that hot. Can't we just fucking turn it up and go home? Or is everyone worried about the nanny state and getting into trouble and blah, blah, blah?
And not just the nanny state. It's super easy just to sue someone.
I know.
Turn around and just file some paperwork, and then bingo, bango, maybe you got $1.5 million.
I think they watched too many episodes of Charlie's Angels growing up because every third cop show I watched, like Charlie's Angels and Vegas and all these shows I would watch when I was a kid, like 70s shows.
Yeah.
At some point, the Angels would go into the sauna or the steam room, and the bad guy, you never see his face. You just see him put the chair, like wedged a chair.
Yeah.
And then he'd turn the thermostat up to skull and crossbones. Like there'd be a setting that would kill a human being. And for some reason, you could turn it that high, and they were going to cook Charlie's Angels. There was a lot of sauna steam room threats in the 70s.
Your generation's
quicksand.
Yeah.
Oh, quicksand is my generation.
Quicksand is yours? Oh, wait, it bled over to mine. Like,
it did?
Yeah, I was determined to avoid quicksand.
We have,
cost.
There's a good thing and a bad thing that's never happened in California that I've been hearing about my entire life since junior high. There are two things. There are killer bees coming in from Texas. Africanized. Killer bees. We're going to come in any day now, and you'd be walking down the street and you're going to get destroyed.
Eradicated.
They never showed up.
They never
They've
did.
been talking about killer bees for 44 years. They've never showed up. But the other thing they were talking about since junior high, the bullet train from L.A. to Vegas. There's going to be a bullet train from L.A. to Vegas. I remember sitting in Miss Valdivia's class in like the 10th grade and like reading an article about a bullet train that's going to Vegas. And I thought that never happened.
That was
never going to happen.
2000s because that came up in the 2000s. Yeah, they're going to build a bullet train to Vegas, bro. And
we're talking about the early 80s. They're talking about a bullet train. It's never going to happen. It's also weird. It's also weird thinking about it. Like you hear about stuff like the future and train and rail and bullet trains and stuff like that. And it's like, it's never going to happen in California. They'll never do it. They'll never fucking build anything. It's the weirdest. It's kind of weird. I guess everyone's just made their peace with it, but it's like, we'll never have it. I don't know why. I don't know why we can't have anything. You know what I mean? It seems weird because it feels like California is like, of course, we're going to be the first to have the bullet. We got nothing.
And maybe it's the spirit of the state. Like the first country bumpkins that came out here, like struck oil, right? And then they're like, look, let's not change it too much.
Oh, let's
drag our feet.
I was thinking about people coming out here. I had an ironic thought. I saw somebody tweeted me a clip. I think Joe has it. It was talking about U-Hauls and U-Hauls leaving California. You know, they can listen, everybody. You can talk all you want. Look, Gavin Newsom can make a speech and spin it all he wants, but it's really about U-Hauls. What direction are U-Hauls going in?
All right.
So anyway, I'll play this and I'll tell you something funny.
But The company has over 23,000 locations, and they say that does help us get a broader sense of migration trends. So take a look, because in the new report, U-Haul found that California once again ranked dead last in the country in its growth rankings. For the 5th straight year, the Golden State saw the largest net loss of one-way U-Haul customers.
All right. So everyone's leaving, and they're leaving for good reason. But then, I started thinking about it. How ironic is it? I started thinking about the Donner Party.
Me too. I always think about that.
You always think about the Donner Party?
I stopped there and had beef jerky in honor of them.
Of the Donners?
Yes.
Okay. The Donner Party were a bunch of people that were in Illinois, basically, who died trying to get to California.
And
now people are dying trying to get out of California. It's just got to be a slap in the face for any of the distant relatives of the Donner Party, and also weird explanation. Like, why was anyone trying to get into California? Because it used to be good. That's why. And now all the U-Hauls are going the other direction. Yeah. What do you know about the Donners?
I mean, I know they ate each other at some point. That's the big headline, is that they collapsed, like wagon wheel fell off. I don't know. I never seen a movie of it, but I can imagine it's pretty tough to
they're in the Sierra Nevada.
Saw somebody up and eat them.
You know what they started eating? You know what they started with?
The ass cheek, huh?
No, not the part. Not the part.
The child?
The two people they ate first were their Indian guides.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Which is sort of like
dark meat?
Yeah, like I could see him kind of going like, look, I'm not going to eat Brad, but I got to eat somebody.
Squanto, get over here.
Squanto, like we don't know him. And it's not like he's an animal, but he's closer to an animal than Brad is or something. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. They had to make this. They had to make hard decisions, is what I'm saying. But they ended up eating a couple of their Indian guides.
Wait,
first.
Did they kill them and eat them? Or were they already dead? Were they dying of, I don't know when you get to it.
I think they killed and ate their Indian guide. Or maybe they were just pissed off because the guide walked them into a fucking snowbank and now they just sat there for months.
Yeah.
Maybe that was it. Maybe it was retribution.
You're right.
So I think they killed and ate the Indian guys.
Oof.
And then quite a few of them survived, though. It wasn't. They didn't all go down. It was. There was like I don't know, 81 people and 44 lived or something like that. It was
Good ratio.
By the way, it was tough sledding all the way around because it was like I was looking to a chart and it was like a month and a half earlier, 21 of the party were killed by Indians. I mean, death was a fairly routine thing back then. I know everyone's worried about getting a certificate so they can give me some coffee, or worried the sauna may be too hard, or the fucking kids wearing a helmet to walk out to the car, But back then, death was pretty routine.
Yeah, dysentery.
If you look on the dime, it was 87 people entered the mountains and 48 survived. Yeah, it was about right. We did a little better. They weren't completely wiped out. Also, like I said, they were killed by Indians. They were leaving Springfield, Illinois, I believe. And there's a couple different trails they could take.
I'm just thinking about that conversation like, yo, Carolla, are we going to hack up Squanto, or is this going down tonight? I mean, we got to eat.
We got to eat.
Gotta eat.
I don't want to eat Brad.
No, Brad is out, all the way out. He tastes
but all the
flavorless.
Livestock's gone, and we got nothing.
Nothing.
But there are two dudes, and they let us into this snowdrift.
I'm with you.
You're with me?
I'm with you.
Okay.
Tell me what to do.
Yeah, so I just thought it was funny that people died trying to get to California.
And now they're dying to get on their U-Haul?
Dying to get out. All right. I saw... Oh, I made the proclamation on yesterday's show that I needed 3 days. 3 days.
Hall & Oates?
Well, I will add that.
Okay,
but
no, Eagles.
I said Yes. And no, it was
Fleetwood Mac.
Fleetwood Mac. I said,
I was getting to it.
I need 3 days without Fleetwood Mac. And then I said, I need 3 days without the Eagles. I got into my goddamn car, and I took off last night, and I got about 3/4 of a mile from here. I was about 2.5 minutes, and Take It to the Limit by the Eagles, which is a fucking another horrible Eagles song, came on. I'm not listening to the Eagles station or anything. It was on the 70s station, and the Eagles did exist in the 70s. But I did not make it 1 mile from this place without hearing the fucking Eagles. I immediately called Joe and started screaming. I just held my phone up and turned the speaker up of the car, so I would have a timestamp and a witness.
This is a self-made problem, Carolla. The 70s channel, I can't not listen to Kendrick Lamar. No matter what. He's my Eagles. But I like him.
You like?
I like him, but he is on every channel, hip-hop, he's like, it's over with. It's Kendrick Lamar.
What I don't really get is I know they're the 70s, but Hocus Pocus by Focus was done in the 70s too, and we could fucking rock out instead of taking it to the fucking limit for the 15,000th time this week. Like I don't get the program. Why don't you just play good songs from the 70s?
It's safe. It's not going to offend anybody.
They don't hire. They don't hire renegades for those music programming positions.
Well, I was also then listening to the 70s station and got some clarity. If you can find the Diana Ross song, I'm Coming Out.
Great jam.
This song is from 1980.
Yeah.
That means, like, after 45 years of struggling with why is she a gay icon? She doesn't do anything for the gays. She's coming out. Coming out. It's their theme song.
It's just disco music was in the clubs where all the gay dudes are at. So, of course, they're going to like her.
She's coming out. They're coming out of the closet. What? All right. So the song's called I'm Coming Out, but the backup singers are saying I'm coming up. Well, but she's saying I'm coming out?
They're not. They're all saying I'm coming out, but I'm with you. I heard my entire life, I'm coming up.
Yeah.
There's a post on Reddit. Many years ago, I had two co-workers at a previous job try to gaslight me into thinking the song was called I'm Coming Up because I kept singing I'm Coming Out. They corrected me, and I doubted myself for years.
This is me. Mm-hmm. You down. The person's in therapy because of this Diana Ross song.
Quote, because of that, I was afraid to ever sing for fun in public for a long time out of fear someone might laugh at me for getting lyrics wrong.
I'm glad I didn't work at that place because same thing would have happened to me. Oh, no. I would have joined the chorus of people that were yelling at the person. Let me hear the chorus one more time. Now, listen. Here's how the game is played. You can't say the word out in your head. You have to, or up. You have to be neutral because you will hear whatever your mind.
So I should be humming like a monk in my head.
Hum like a monk.
All right.
All right. Say up.
Never say up, huh? No? Never, Joe? Oh, my God. Definitely is saying up. Second time was up.
I agree. I agree with me. But
the blue dress or the gold dress? Same thing.
Yeah, same thing. All right. I don't know. We're in an era which I'm interested. Also, I'll circle back to that. But I saw Wicked. I saw the Bob Dylan movie.
Good. I saw Nosferatu.
Oh, how was it?
Oh my God, orgasmic.
Really?
Yes.
Scary?
Yes. No. Yes.
Good?
Yes. Scary a little bit. Good. Sexually freaky.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, I was leather the whole entire time.
I want to hear about that. Wicked's fine. It's a musical. It's whatever. It's like it's too long. It's stupid, but it's fine. You know, it's good set dressing and stuff.
Good singing?
Yeah. I mean, everyone could sing, and everything's good.
Was it Oompa Loompas in there? I mean,
Yeah.
Lollipop Guild, whatever. the
No,
hell.
I don't know. It was like it was fine. It was
There
like
were no
fun, sort
short
of fun to
people.
watch. It was good. It was longer than it needed to be.
You saw the stage show
So I want to
before?
say it. I think I did. Yeah, I did see the stage show.
Comparable?
I don't. I don't really recall, but it's fine. I like musicals. You don't have to think. You just sit there. The Bob Dylan thing was pretty good, but there weren't any real stakes. Like you didn't really care like what happened. I mean, they built this whole thing about him going electric at the folk pop festival, which they turned into like a life or death kind of thing, which is like, who cares? But it was a big deal, I guess, at the time. But it was fine. It was you got to see what this country and what New York and what this place looked like in like 1962. Like the way people interacted.
interesting. Yeah.
Like, first things first, everyone just smoked. No one gave a shit. People walked around, they smoked, they come to someone's house, they'd light up a cigarette. Like, everyone just smoked, everyone hung out. Everything was sort of clean and fairly orderly. Like, there wasn't graffiti and trash. There's like trash everywhere now and graffiti everywhere. Like, stuff wasn't broken down and fucked up. This is like sort of normal. There's like a civility, and guys kind of dressed a little better and women dressed a little better. And I don't know, it was just a sort of simpler times, better times, I could argue, until the sort of hellscape that we have now. So it was pretty good, but there is a thing that I don't like Bob Dylan that much.
Yeah, I was going to say.
For the most part. Yeah. But it has a couple of good songs and it's interesting and everything.
He's like a cultural icon, as I understand.
Yeah, I just not a huge fan, but you got to give him his due. He wrote a lot of meaningful songs, but one that I always hated was I Ain't Gonna Work on Maggie's Farm No More. But I always used to think
it's Maddie's farm.
Oh, it's Matt. Oh shit! Give me a fucking heart attack.
Oh, gaslight.
I swear to God, I'm so vulnerable right now, Joe.
Trauma response.
I had a like, oh my God, no. There's nothing worse than fucking lyrics up. Yeah. I mean, Jimmy fucked up the theme song from Chico and the Man.
Excuse me, why I kissed this guy?
Well, there's that.
Gay ass Jimi Hendrix.
It's always fun to be there when you find out one of your friends is fucking lyrics up.
Watch
I stood next to Steve Hughes when he took BTO's Taking Care of Business and turned it into Taking Care of Pistons. That was good. That was a milestone. I remember where I was. Oh, God. Mark Drotman. I remember where I was when Mark Drotman did the Toto song, Those Are Lies, ba-na-na-na, love isn't always on time. And I'm like, do it again, Mark? He's like, those are lies. I was like, no, hold the line. Love isn't always on time. He's like, huh? I was like, oh man, you're 34. Oh, you've been fucking this thing up for a good 20 years now. And you're singing out loud. I don't really remember a lot about the birth of my kids, but I know where I was when Mark Drotman fucked up Toto's song. I know where I was when Steve Hughes fucked up the BTO song, and when Jimmy fucked up the theme to Chico and the Man. That was a big day for me, too.
Don't even know that one. Sorry, bud.
Jose Feliciano.
Yeah.
Feliz Navidad.
Yeah,
Yeah, can't go wrong with Jose Feliciano.
No.
I learned that from the movie Fargo. But it was a very innocent fuck up, but he fucked it up. Chico, don't worry, the man, he ain't so hard to understand. And then there's a part where he goes, I know things will get better. Oh, yes, they will for Chico. And Jimmy said, Gato, things will get better, which is Spanish for cat. So it sort of worked with the theme.
Yeah.
But I remember where I was when he did that. I was like, give me that one again, Jimmy. He's like, gato, things will get by. No.
What's the correct lyric? What do you mean?
I know.
Oh, I know.
I know. Things will get gato. I mean, look, these are innocent.
Innocent.
But they're marked in my brain. I know right where I was. We're in the K-Rock, stand up at K-Rock talking by the phone bank. 1994.
It's your personal 9/11.
Yeah.
One of those.
Let me hear the Chico. Oh, the Bob. Oh, ain't. Okay, well, listen.
Oh, I like this. Vibing.
Jose Feliciano's.
He gets down.
Yeah. This is at the beginning of the Freddie Prinze sitcom, Senior. Chico, don't be discouraged. The man, he ain't so hard to understand. That's a decent theme. Chico, if you try now, I know that you can lend a helping hand. Because as good as everyone, and a new day has begun. That's all I had was TV when I was a guy. Stared at a TV. It's all I had. We'll do Speed Racer later. Wait. Things will be better. Did you say I know that or say Gato?
He sounded like Gato to me.
If you try, Dino. Things will be better. He says Dino.
It's probably and I know.
Oh, let's hear it. Let's hear it. You got to give Jimmy cut him some slack because he.
And I know.
Is he saying and?
Yes, very quickly.
Oh, really? One more time. I'm going to say it in my head. And Dino. Yeah. Dino. Yeah, okay. See, you got to cut Jimmy some slack here. Because that was a little fucked up. And I didn't even have the and I know. I just had I know. I don't know why he swallowed the and. I hate Jose Feliciano.
You know how I know this song?
Huh.
Oswaldo. Tell us about some movies.
Oh, yeah.
We want to know what movies you have seen.
That's right. All right. I don't know what's going on. Oh. Yeah, I ain't going to work on Maggie's farm no more. Is Bob Dylan threatening Maggie? Because he sounds like the fucking worst farmhand ever.
Yeah.
Like, could you picture Bob Dylan working on a farm? All he did was chain smoke and criticize people around him. I'd never seen him lifting bales of hay.
Seems like a dainty guy.
You work on a farm, you get up at 5 a.m. and you go out and you mend fences and you drive fence posts and you stack up hay. Bob Dylan woke up at noon, fucked random chicks, and chain smoked. He'd be the worst farmhand. I feel like I want to hear Maggie's side of this whole story, but she's got to be delighted he's gone.
Yeah. And Timothy Chalamet is like much bigger and stronger than Bob Dylan ever was.
Yeah, well, he's
like that's the guy they played.
What are Bob Dylan's dimensions? I mean, 5'8.5" and 100 nothing. Like he'd be the worst, and he'd be complaining the whole time.
I thought folk music, the whole thing about it was to pretend to cosplay like you're an everyman, but play the guitar.
It's kind of interesting. You know, you're kind of right. It's like the rappers talking about being from the hood,
really
putting a cap in everyone's ass and pimping chicks and all that kind of
stuff.
stuff.
Was a drama major. Like he was like very, you know what I mean? But he talked thug
No,
life
you're
later.
right. You're right. And the whole folk scene is about working on the farm and fixing your own pickup truck and you know, and traveling the land and stuff. Meanwhile, you're just sitting around banging waitresses at a club and chain smoking and doing. He's 5'7". But forget about Bob Dylan's dimensions. I'm talking
about $132.
I'm talking about, but just his attitude. Could you imagine Maggie like coming in at like 5? Bob, I need you to head out. The tractor's on the fritz again. We need you to fix the tractor. He'd be like, I'm fucking a waitress and smoking. I'll be out about noon. I'm thinking about a song. Bob, we're going to raise the barn. Come on, you're going to miss the barn right here. He'd be like, I don't get up before noon, and I smoke, and I drink coffee, and then I think about songs. Who could, like, worst? Like, Randy Bachman from BTO. That guy would make a good farmhand. That guy's stout. He's got a beard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think
Takes
ZZ
care
Top,
of business.
Yeah, ZZ Top could definitely throw some bales of hay around.
ZZ Top could work on a farm.
AC/DC, I figure they could lift stuff.
Not the guy in the schoolboys outfit,
not him.
though.
No.
No.
Angus, no.
No. You take a look at Bachman Turner Overdrive. Those guys could work on Maggie's farm.
Where are we at on the Eagles?
Joe Walsh would be like, Joe Walsh would set something on fire. Like he'd fall asleep drunk, knock a lantern over. He'd fall asleep smoking and like knock it in some lantern oil or something. I don't think you could have the Eagles working on your farm. But BTO could do it. Trying to
Probably the dudes in Midnight Oil might be able to work on a farm for a little while.
No, because that guy'd be fucking preaching the whole time.
They wouldn't be happy about it.
Yeah, he'd be pissed because you had livestock,
right,
and their cows, and he was vegan, and he'd be fucking lecturing you the whole time. Like he'd be like, "Hey, Midnight Oil guy, get the fertilizer out. We got to put the fertilizer." And they'd be like, "Do you know what that does to the topsoil?" Like it'd be nonstop complaining about shit you were doing at that farm with him.
Toto Sprocket could work on an organic farm only.
Rage Against the Machine would turn it into a commune.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. That Midnight Oil guy, he's like in Australian Parliament now or something. Like he got out of it. He got fully, I think, into the politicking stuff and is like with the bean curd party or something at the Australian green bean curd. I don't know. He's in the tofu party of Australia. Like, where is that weird Hills Have Eyes guy? Where is that guy?
You know, he'd be a shitty farmer.
Are we talking about Bones Hillman?
Bones.
The lead singer, the bald guy who's like 6'6" or something. He'd be good for getting stuff off the hay rafter, because he was rangy.
Yeah.
John Popper from Blues Traveler, like could work on your farm a little bit. I mean, he's lost a few pounds.
Josh Todd from Buck Cherry would not make a good farm worker, probably.
No, yeah. But I still think Bob Dylan's still at the top of the worst farmhand ever.
Undoubtedly.
Got to talk to Maggie. Peter Garrett, former Minister of the Environment and Water of Australia. 6'4", Peter Garrett.
The Marshall Tucker Band would probably make pretty good farmers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you go into the country realm, I think you could get some help on that farm. All right, so Bob Dylan, bad farmhand. Decent movie. Timothée Chalamet was pretty good. I mean, Bob Dylan's kind of a douche.
The electric guitar was the crescendo of that.
Yeah,
it
was really just like, for me, it was just like, what did this country look like in 1965?
Did they
and that's
do
what
race
the movie
relations in 65?
There's a little
touch of that in the movie. Was there like
it was more, I don't know. It was just like, here's how people traveled. Here's what they did. They didn't have phones, and there was like phones everywhere. Like people just rode motorcycles with no helmets and shit like that, and just everyone smoked everywhere. And it was like nobody. I don't know. It was like a little more. Just do what you want. It's fine.
Folksy.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, I thought it was good. It was fine. All right. Now, there's one more thing to complain about. which I don't know what this is. I think it's chick think era that we're living in. But when things happen, tragedies like New Orleans, and then the president does it, but everyone does it. They just get behind the microphone and they go, well, this is unacceptable. And I'm like, well, it happened. So fucking accept it. You know what I mean? They go, and there's no room for this. In this country, there's no room. It's like, well, make room, douche, because it happens every other weekend now. It's unacceptable, except for it keeps happening. You know what I mean? And I don't know where this talk came from, and I suspect it's part of the problem. Meaning, okay, so everyone says to me, "What do you care?" Why, like when you turn on the NFL game. And in the end zone, it says end hate or end racism. So what? I'm like, well, I think that when you talk about something like why I always hate the platitudes, where you go, look, everyone deserves a seat at the table. No child should go to bed hungry. Every child should feel safe in their home. It satiates. Like here's a thing for you. You ready?
Yeah,
it does nothing. It does nothing.
All right.
It does nothing. Well, I'll play a commercial about hate. I don't know why they play every football, every time I try to watch the NFL. I watch the NFL to crack a beer and fucking enjoy myself, not hear about hate everywhere. But here's one of their commercials they run all the time. They just want us to knock it off. I don't know what it means.
Time out, time out, time out, time out, time out!
Listen up, get tight.
This is the most important timeout I've ever called.
Things are getting out of control out there, and we need to regroup.
Hate.
Hate is winning out there.
Not on these fields.
In our communities.
On our streets.
In our schools.
And we need to stop it.
So let's take this moment
To change the momentum.
and call a timeout
On hate.
Together.
Together.
All right. Tell that to the guy driving the fucking Ford Lightning truck through all the people in New Orleans. Someone should have given that guy a timeout or for hate. Okay. It just doesn't mean anything. It's nothing. But here's what I'm saying to you. I think it's worse than nothing. I think it satiates. I think the problem with like these people, politicians, they give these speeches where like, no human's illegal and everyone needs to be treated with dignity. Now I'm going back to my mansion and they leave and they step over a bunch of homeless fucking junkies flopping out on the street. But they said they won't tolerate it and this is unacceptable. So there's another school that gets shot up or another street that gets rammed by a Ford Lightning truck and then you just go, unacceptable. Now I'm going back in the mansion. Okay, it satiates. And I said to Joe, but think about this as a guy who works out like you do. What if there was a thing where you didn't go to the gym, you didn't exercise, and you got none of the benefits of exercise, but it kind of felt like you did? like some program or something that I could just download where you went like, I know I didn't go to the gym and do hack squats and slides all day. I know I didn't do that. But I kind of feel like I did. Would that be good for you?
No.
Or would you just get fatter every fucking month? I mean, would that be good for you if it felt like, or anything sort of felt like, I know I didn't register my car, but it kind of feels like I did. And I know I didn't hug my kids, or tell anyone I love them, but it feels like I did. It kind of feels like I sort of did. I know I didn't go to the gym, but it kind of feels like I did. And I know I didn't eat anything that was healthy today, but I did talk about it for a while. And I did say that there was, that this was a churro-free zone,
so
and I noticed that I did say there's no excuse for eating dessert. I did have some dessert, but I made the proclamation. So it kind of feels like I did all these things, except for I haven't done any of it.
Yeah.
Well, that would then be harmful to the person or the society. I think we got a bunch of fucking people walking around feeling like something is getting, hey, what do you mean we're not doing anything about hate? Didn't you see the commercial? Doc Rivers told you to knock it off. So we're good. Right?
Yeah.
And, as far as racism goes, that's in the end zone too. So that's, check that box. Right.
Well, what's your suggestion for society? Because it sounds like we got to do a bunch of hack squats to fix it.
Well, first off, we knock off this is not acceptable.
Yeah.
Also, like when the chick who's in charge of the police, whatever, in New Orleans gets out there, who got drummed out of San Francisco, goes, look, we had those barriers. I just didn't know about it. But look, we're not here to assign blame. Yeah, how about we start assigning blame, bitch?
The Crypt Keeper lady?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have her. Nothing puts the fear of God into ISIS like this bitch does. I mean, look at her.
Bob.
She's got a bob. She's got granny glasses. And all right. And these are all DI hires, I guess. Also, I've been screaming for a million years. It can't just be we got to get a chick or a black guy in the spot. We have to get like competent, qualified people. Otherwise, people will die, which is already happening.
Let me ask you something.
Anna Kirkpatrick.
Is she more qualified to be the superintendent of police in a crime-ridden city than Bob Dylan is qualified to be a farmhand?
Oh, my God. Man, I got to sleep on that one, Joe. That is going to be tough. All right, let's see what she has to say.
Madam, do you acknowledge that you let the victims down by not having an appropriate security plan?
Oh, that's not correct. That's not correct. We would disagree with that. We had
a plan that allowed an attacker to drive into a crowd.
And I take exception to that, and I do not agree with that.
That has to be a failure.
We do know that people have lost their lives. But if you're experienced with terrorism, you would not be asking that question.
Well, with respect, experience of terrorism surely requires appropriate...
Somebody plowed a bunch of people, but she disagrees with that. She doesn't like... No, she didn't let anybody down. Anyway, stop hate or something. You know what I mean? All right, we're good. Hey, look, unacceptable. Unacceptable. And we got... Remember the mayor, or was it the governor? Was it mayor of New York? He was like, hey, if one person dies of COVID, that's too many. Okay. Now I'm going to take a bunch of elderly people and put them in the old folks home and lock them in there, and then they'll all die. Okay. But we have you on record as saying one is one too many? Yeah. One person died. Yeah, I know, but there's 18,000 people dead. Yeah. One. I'm telling you, this insane talk is fucking us up. We're not getting shit done for a reason. We're satiated. It's, I feel like I've been to the gym. You didn't go to the gym. I don't know about that. I made a commitment to the gym. Yeah, but you didn't go. I sort of feel like maybe I did because I made a commitment to it. So you know what I'm saying?
Is anything ever going to change, Carolla?
Yes. It's going to change right now. We're going to get rid of Justin Trudeau and his fucking cloth bracelet. We'll get rid of Biden and all those fucking idiots, and we'll have adults show up and make rules and kick some ass and fix shit. That's what we'll do, just like a football team.
I hope so, yeah.
Yeah.
Bob Dylan versus the Granny Crypt Keeper,
oh my God.
mayor of New Orleans. I mean...
Gato, things will get better. I'm telling you, that fucking. So I was. So what reminded me? The thing that made me angry. I don't know why. Okay, I'm sitting in Malibu eating brunch, right?
As you do.
Malibu.
Yeah.
Eating brunch, middle of PCH, middle of Malibu. I'm sitting in a place eating the brunch. The colonies are 100 feet behind me. Average home at the colonies, 22 million.
Ooh, yeah.
Well, they'll go up to 40 or 50, but I don't. You're not getting into the colonies. You're not getting in for under 15 million bucks. That's 100 feet behind me, and I'm sitting in this. This restaurant with a bunch of well-heeled white people with their fucking dogs sitting around eating mimosas, and I see this big sign on the wall, which is always my favorite. It's a painting. Joe's got it somewhere, but you got to zoom in on it. I always take a picture of it. It always makes me angry. because it says, welcome. All ages, all colors, all sizes, all cultures, all genders. Well, there's only 2 of those. All abilities. All religions and all creatures, all people are safe in this place.
So my emotional support cockroach can be in there.
That's right.
All
right. You're all here and you're all safe. No matter. This is Malibu, 2025. People discriminating against the ladies or the heavyset folks or the age. I don't know. All ages, everything. This, by the way, it's all good until the guy's brother from New Orleans gets in the F-150 and drives it through the fucking restaurant and kills all you assholes who are sitting under the sign. It's all good for now, but not when the guy comes in and starts shooting everybody. Then it wouldn't work. But obviously it's all virtue signaling. It means nothing.
Yeah.
It means nothing, but I say it's worse than meaning nothing because they don't need a plan if people start shooting that place up. They got a sign. You see what I'm saying?
Oh.
I guess my plan would be to hide behind the sign. But, yeah, everyone's what? They should have had this sign up at Bourbon Street, right? Could have saved those people.
Oh, brutal.
It's a bad time. There's way too many of these proclamations. There's way too much of this. We need some accountability, and your general platitudes of everything's great. Bullshit.
I didn't
get
look
it together.
Into it. Did that guy leave a manifesto, or was he just toasted drunk and decided to bust out his ISIS flag and run people down? I didn't look all the way into it.
He was weaponized by ISIS, basically.
And usually it's after you break up with a chick.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's
like
anyway,
incel
white supremacy. That's the biggest problem this country has. All right. Heard it before. All right, let's take a break. We'll do the news right after this. Simply Safe traditional security systems only take action after someone has already broken in. It's too late at that point. I mean, let's face it. They've already broken in. It's got the word broken right in it. I've been using these guys for a million years. So is everyone who works here. And like I said, it's not hardwired. So you can pick it up. You know, if you're renting and you move to a new place, take the system with you. Simply Safe. They have active guard outdoor protection. It changes the game by preventing crime before it happens. If someone's lurking around or acting suspicious, agents see them in real time, talk to them directly, set off your spotlights, and even call the police. No long-term contracts or cancellation fees. It's around $1 a day for security and peace of mind. You owe it to yourself and you owe it to your family. It's Simply Safe. Right, Dawson?
You can get 50% off your new Simply Safe system with professional monitoring and your first month free at simplysafe.com/Adam. Just head to simplysafe.com/Adam to claim your discount and make sure your home is safe this year. Keep your home, your family, and your peace of mind protected with Simply Safe. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Mando, it's time for your New Year's resolution. How about you take a little time for yourself this year? You take, do a little turn for the happy hygiene with Mando. 72-hour odor control for the whole body. Pits, package, feet, butt cracks, stomach folds, all the good parts. It'll take care of all of them. 3 formats: invisible spray, solid stick. I use that the most, I would say. Invisible cream, 4 scents, bourbon leather, Mount Fuji, Pro Sport, Clover Woods. I think Clover Woods is my favorite. Clinically proven to control odor better than a shower with soap alone. And like I said, I use this product. I actually joined a gym recently and started taking it with me to the gym. Hit the pits before I leave. But again, you can go all over with Mando. They cover all your parts. Special offer. New customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code and link. Use the code Adam at mandopodcast.com mandopodcast.com. That's MANDO podcast.com/Adam and save $5 off the starter pack. It's good stuff, right, Dawson?
Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, and free shipping. New customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack. Use code Adam at mandopodcast.com, MANDO podcast.com/Adam. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Ace man, the problem with the world today, too many dudes sitting down to pee. Get it on.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
Oh, there's also something. Speaking of nothing, Kylie Kelsey, who's got a podcast out, who's Brad, what's the Kelsey brother?
Jason.
Jason. Hate that name. Jason's wife has a podcast, and here's the description of it. It's called Not Gonna Lie with Kylie Kelsey. Despite her best efforts to remain on the sidelines, being part of football's favorite family means the world has found out about Kylie Kelsey, now armed with the microphone. It's always funny to me when people go, I don't want to get involved with this, but I'm involved with this. It's like, there's a way to do that. It always cracked me up, like when, speaking of football, Walter Payton had a prized turbo Porsche, like maybe 1987. His son put it up for sale, and his son was selling it like, this is my dad's pride and joy, and he wanted me to have it. And now it's for sale. It's like,
what?
Yeah. But, you don't have to sell it. I know it's your dad. It's your dad's most prized possession. Yeah. And he gave it to his son. Yeah. And now I'm selling it. Like, well, you don't have to sell your dad's you don't have to do this, do you?
Do you want me to take that Tony Bennett CD off eBay?
Yeah. I'm just saying, sell the Porsche, spare me the speech where it's your dad's is pride and joy that you're selling, that he died and left you so that you could have it, not sell it. But, so I'm sorry, Kelsey, sorry. She couldn't remain on the sidelines anymore. She had to pick up a microphone. And you can join her because she's ready to open up on her own terms. Join Kylie each week on Not Gonna Lie as she shares her personal story beyond being just a football wife, setting the record straight on gossip and speaking her truths on topics like modern parenting, social media trends, women in sports, and more. Plus, each episode features Kylie sitting down for revealing conversations with special guests across the pop culture, sports, entertainment. New episodes every other Thursday, blah, 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 social media, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, she's going to speak her truth, and she's not going to be stifled.
When are you going on?
This Wednesday. Okay. All right, let's do some news.
All right, great. Skip Bayless is accused of offering $1.5 million for sex in a workplace misconduct lawsuit filed by former Fox Sports hairstylist.
Oh, it's the hairstyle. Hairstylist.
Yeah. She's a pretty lady.
They're the nuttiest of all.
They are.
Every group, like they would be, there's like breeds. They'd be the Dalmatians of jobs. The Dalmatians are crazy dogs.
Yeah.
Hairstylists are all crazy.
Yeah.
You want to know my theory?
Why? What?
Well, they didn't start off smart.
Mercury poisoning?
It's a little of that.
All right.
Okay. They didn't start smart, or they'd be working for SpaceX if they started smart. They started middle, dumb, right? Then they spent their whole adult life spraying Aquanet and with a hairdryer, heating it up, weaponizing it. It's just a cloud of breathing in those propellants and Aquanet heated up and it fucking ate their brain.
Like Mexican cleaning ladies.
Yeah.
Sniff bleach all day.
They're all nuts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, yeah, she claims in the suit that, it started off kind of harmless where Bayless talked.
Oh, she fucked up Bayless's hair, too.
Yeah.
I could see once when he was doing it where they'd spray the dark on the side.
Yeah.
He had like a racing stripe on his side.
He did.
He should be suing her for fucking his hair up.
Yeah. She claims that eventually it got up to, he was calling her voluptuous and saying, I will pay you $1.5 million to sleep with me, which sounds oddly specific. How high are you going, Carolla, on this haircut lady?
So he didn't offer her money to keep quiet. He offered her money for sex.
Yeah, and apparently, I guess she turned it down, and then later filed a lawsuit.
I mean, let's try to unpack this.
Yeah.
If you said, all right, sex is personal, but there is something called prostitution and porn,
Yeah.
I was thinking, remember that job, fluffer for porn?
Yeah,
the fluffer? Yeah. You sort of think of that as like the lowest on the totem pole.
Important job, though.
Important, but you're the fluffer. Well, let me ask you guys a hypothetical. I haven't asked this one in a while. You know, at the strip club, after like 5 dances, the sort of chick with the fat ass comes out with the Windex and like wipes down the pole and the mirror and shit in the back because the chicks had their tits against it and were breathing on it and they got paw prints on it and all this kissing potion on the. Would you rather your daughter work as a stripper or the strip club or basically drive the Zamboni after they fucked up the stage? Like, it's kind of a loser job. Like, it means your daughter's got a fat ass and she's up there just mopping up after this, wiping the glass down, wiping the pole down,
Maybe she can work her way up to stripper.
I could make an argument for I'd rather my daughter be a stripper at that club than be the one who's mopping up after the strippers.
Yeah. The thankless job.
Thankless. And also means you're not hot enough. You're not going to get tips. Okay, so, he's offered her money to have sex.
Yes.
She said no.
Yes. And apparently there's a culture of that over there. There's another Charlie Dixon.
It's 1.5.
Allegedly.
It's 1.5 for one time.
Yeah, it wasn't clear, but yeah, I think so.
I don't know. See, for me as a dude, my whole life has just been people pay me to do shit I don't want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like they go, you want to go to Manson? You want to go to, let's see, where'd I go? Mansfield, Pennsylvania. It's oil drilling country. There's a college over there. You want to do a set in the snow? And then I'll go, no. And then they'll go, how about they give you $10,000? And I'll go, when is it? And then my early life was like, hey, here's a shovel. Dig footings in front of Dr. Fagenbaum's house.
Yeah, speaking of, I'll be in Jacksonville this weekend for a mixed martial arts seminar.
Yeah, I'll be in Vegas doing 2 shows at Kimmel's. Right, but not for free.
Yeah.
My whole life has just been, here's a big pile of roofing shit. Go put it up on the roof. Yeah. Here's a bunch of plywood. Go put it up on the roof. And I'd go, well, I don't want to do that. And then they go, we'll give you $12 an hour. And I'd go, okay. I would just go do it. That's my entire adult life. That's all I've done. It's just I get paid to do shit I don't want to do. Now, it's better because now I'd much rather be on stage in air conditioning holding a beer than climbing up on the roof doing earthquake rehab. But for me, because I'm a dude and sex doesn't really factor in, I would just look at his $1.5 million to do something I didn't want to do and fucking hammer that check. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Although you got to get that money up front.
Yeah, I'm
because
saying.
when a dude comes, his fucking all of a sudden he can't find his checkbook, right? Like, oh baby, yeah. 1 point. Oh, I think I left my checkbook. It's probably out in the glove box. You're gonna have a scene from the Blues Brothers. It's out in the glove box. We're just gonna go out to the Blues Mobile and write you the Bayless Mobile and. Go ahead and write you that check. I'm just going to go ahead. I used the glove box is sort of a little desk to make it out. So I got to go out. And then you just hear the thing fire up. Like I peel out. Yes, Joe.
Also, now she's going to get $4 million or whatever for saying no just by telling a lawyer about it.
I know.
So it's a win-win for her. She could have taken the 1.5 or not do it and get more.
I know. God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little cute Faraji.
Mm-hmm.
Now she's rich.
So he just offered her money for sex. I don't know. And then and then you have to think about, like, does that mean it's a hostile work environment?
Yeah, that's what she's alleging. That's why she's getting the money, is because the whole entire staff, everybody was grabbing her butt and kind of demeaning her. I don't like that, but I get it, sort of. 1.5 million, I don't get.
I would like it if a coworker offered me some cash to blow me or something. I would like that. Even if I didn't accept, I'd like to know it was out there. Like a rainy day fund,
Flattering.
Also, she could, because I'd say, Skip, I'll just put that in my hip pocket and think about it for a minute. And it's like you come home and the transmission blows up in your car or something, and you go, the bill's $11,000, and you just come back. You're like, hey, Skip, remember we were talking about fucking? I think I'm ready to go. You know what I mean? Or just, rainy day fun. Okay. So she's pissed.
Yeah, she's pissed. And
she's a hairstylist.
Getting some money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Next up, your favorite Justin Trudeau says he will resign as Prime Minister of Canada. Yeah, it's coming down.
My thing with the experiment, whether it's the DA, we elect the DA, and then the DA's soft on crime, and then everyone gets pissed off because there's more crime, and there's smash and grabs and street takeovers, and then at some point we go, we don't want this anymore. People don't want this. Like what I'm saying about Trudeau, or what I'm saying about Biden, or what I'm saying about Gavin Newsom, forget about politics. It's just let's remove Democrat, Republican, just remove it all.
Policy.
Whatever this is, people don't really want it. They like the thought of it, but they don't really want what they're selling. What I mean is, like, I like the notion of a sanctuary city. Like, I go, oh, that's good. Yeah, they're kind, they're warm-hearted, they welcome in, they don't judge. You've seen the sign at the omelet place in Malibu. That's who I want to be. It's like, all right. Then a bunch of homeless migrant guys start showing up and flopping out on your sidewalk. And then we go, I don't want this. I don't want this, because my daughter has to walk to school and she stepped over a guy and he's fucking high on fentanyl. And I don't want it. And eventually it gets to or we go, I don't want the police coming in the community. I want community policing. I want the people of the community. And the next thing you know, shit turns into a shit show. And then they go, oh yeah, we want the police back. I'm just saying, whatever Trudeau is pitching, which is sort of further left than what Newsom is pitching or what Biden is pitching, we don't want it. The people Canada don't want it. The people of the United States don't want it. We just don't want it because it doesn't work. So let's just move on and do some shit that works. But here he goes.
Over the holidays, I've also had a chance to reflect and have had long talks with my family about our future. Throughout the course of my career, any success I have personally achieved has been because of their support and with their encouragement.
Hey, you dropped your bracelet, homo.
So last night over dinner,
I had to talk.
I told my kids.
Remember when I told you RFK Jr. is a hero to me yesterday when I said, because when his wife said, what's up with the thing? He was like, yeah, she's wrong. I'm like, because all the pussies have to do this. I talk to my wife. I don't do anything without my wife. Gavin Newsom's wife isn't the first lady. She's the first partner. Yeah. We don't want it. All right, but anyway, yes, you talked to your fucking 9-year-old. Did you talk to your 9-year-old about quarantining everyone for 2 fucking weeks, even if they were vaxxed and had COVID? Did you talk to them about that, puss? Or when you fucking shut down the checking accounts of the truckers who were striking, did you talk to your 9-year-old about that? Or daddy just go do that on his own? All right, here we go. Well, I would go back 10 seconds. He had to talk to his family. My daughter just got done
because of their
knitting me a
support
bracelet. Here we go. Sorry.
Has been because of their support and with their encouragement. So last night over dinner, I told my kids about the decision that I'm sharing with you today. I intend to resign.
All right.
As party.
First off, just resign, bitch. Don't need the part where you fucking sat down with your kids and your wife and over dinner. Just be a fucking man. Just fucking resign. Nobody wants what you're fucking selling. Or resign and get the fuck out. All right, sorry.
That I'm sharing with you today. I intend to resign as party leader, as prime minister, after the party selects its next leader through a robust, nationwide, competitive process.
Robust!
Yeah, but what if there's another COVID situation? Who's going to lock everyone in their fucking house? Who's going to strip everyone's civil liberties away? If you're gone, Trudeau, get the fuck out of here. Ugh. The fact that we even have to experiment with these assholes is the sad part. All right, good. Trudeau's gone. Here we go. And it's going to go, by the way, it's going that way worldwide. It's going to go that way in Europe. It's going that way in Germany. It's going that way in England. It's going to go that way. It already went that way in Italy. It's just going to go that way, which is it's not a sustainable way of governing.
I don't even understand why he's so unpopular. To be honest,
he's super left and super woke, and that fucks up every city, state, country.
We're in the backlash stage.
Yes, we're in the. We let you drive. You drove off a cliff, and now we're going to do the driving stage.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
Now, I don't know why we need to experiment in the first place, but evidently we have to experiment. We have to try it.
All right, well, here's some more political stuff for you. A good friend of the show, Rob Schneider, pitched the LA Times billionaire owner to fund conservative version of The View.
Yeah.
That's an interesting thing. Yeah, the SNL alum has been outspoken supporter of Donald Trump and wants a billionaire owner of Los Angeles Times to fund a talk show to rival The View that would appeal to conservatives, according to a report.
It's kind of interesting. I mean, The View has completely there's a tweet. I think I liked it. I didn't tell you about it, Joe, but Sunny Hostin, they just go nuts about, they're now completely batshit crazy.
Who?
The View.
Oh yeah.
They're now, they've crossed over into some realm where I think they only exist so that conservative outlets can make fun of them.
Yeah.
I don't even know what they're talking about anymore.
Engagement baiting.
She's talking about January 6th, which is, I love the Jan 6th. I love that we're still talking about this shit. I love what they do. They go, they showed up for the insurrection in body armor with zip ties. It's like, zip ties? That's how you show up for an insurrection? Okay. You show up for an armed insurrection with zip ties?
Yeah.
Historically, you got to show up with weapons.
Yeah, machine guns.
No one is armed with zip ties. You're armed with weapons. All right, but anyway, we'll play Sunny. She loves it.
I think we need to find moral clarity, in this country. And I just remember after January 6th, you had someone like Mitch McConnell placing the blame on January 6th where it belonged, squarely on Donald Trump's shoulders. Mm-hmm. And then you started seeing people backtrack that mm-hmm. and losing their moral center. You had Condoleezza Rice, I believe, on this very show saying, we need to move on from January 6th. Mm-hmm. I say no. You don't move on because January 6th was an atrocity. It was one of the worst moments in American history.
Right, and nobody died.
And
one person die.
When you think about the worst moments in American history, like World War II, things that happened, like the Holocaust, chattel slavery. We need to never forget because past becomes.
I don't know if the Holocaust is American history, by the way. I think that's more European stuff. But anyway, then so she's basically comparing that to the Holocaust, which makes her an idiot. And which should piss off Jewish people, even though they won't say anything. But they should definitely be pissed off. Nobody died except for one person died, and that person was shot by a Capitol cop. That's all who died. You can say other people committed suicide later on in life.
Had a heart attack the next day. I
that
think.
is not somebody who died during. Nobody died, and there were no weapons. But other than that, it was a big problem. All right, keep going.
Yeah,
fucking nuts. Good.
Let's lighten
good
it up.
for Rob.
Let's lighten it up with a little Hooters story.
I'm gonna tell Rob.
Yeah. But before, what do you think about that?
Listen, Gutfeld's number one in late night or late night TV. They got. Listen, Gutfeld's got nothing over there. You show up to Gutfeld. I show up a half hour before the show. I'm the first person there.
Yeah.
There's nobody there.
Yeah.
Then these other guys, Tyrus and these people, they start wandering in like 6 minutes before the show starts.
Yeah.
There's nothing going on. Then they all just go down and sit down and start the show. There's no. You go do a late night show. Late night shows are floors and floors of writers and producers and craft service and backstage. And you go in and do the Tonight Show. It took up a whole fucking office building.
Yeah.
I mean, the nut on a show like that, one episode, Gutfeld could do 65 episodes for the price.
Yeah. My buddy Adam does it all the time. He says, he just rolls in there, has the jokes ready, and goes.
Yeah, so that's going to be the wave. So, yes, The View, the average, I don't know what the average salary is on The View, but they're paying each one of those chicks probably $5 million. I mean, averaging out to $5 million a year. I mean, you're looking at $25 million of salary. By the way, 5 fucking dodos getting $25 million. Rob Schneider he'll get female comedians and offer them, $175,000 a year to do this show, and it'll be stripped down. It'll be lean and mean, and then it'll beat the shit out of The View.
Yeah.
I'm going to pitch Rob something.
All right.
Rob did a movie called The Hot Chick.
Yeah.
Where he dressed up as a chick for the whole movie. What if I pitch Rob? Is this going to be an all ladies view thing? He's going to be like, yeah. But but you want it to be funny, right, Rob? You want to bring some heat, right? Yeah. I will resurrect the Flip Wilson Geraldine character. Flip Wilson had a character named Geraldine. He's like, hey, sucker! Woo! Sassy black woman.
Yeah.
I will call myself Geraldine. Just no one will know. No one will get the fucking reference. I will go in as sassy and black. I'll go Tyler Perry on his fucking ass.
If it's CGI, like blackface, is it blackface still? If
No, I'm- no,
actually
but-
look like a 3D.
No, I'm going full prosthetics.
Oh, wow.
Full fat suit.
Talking.
Full, like,
Medea.
think
Yep.
Sherry Shepherd
Big Mama?
10, 15 years ago. Yeah, sort of Big Mama, Medea, Geraldine. Find me 10 seconds of Geraldine. Go, sucker! And I'll just come in there and I'll sit right in the middle and I'll be like fanning myself. I'll be getting hot and I'll be yelling shit out the whole time. I'll make sure and say, ask a question. Oh, here's, we got Geraldine.
Admiration of everyone. Yes. Tonight, this is your life, Geraldine Jones.
No, that's not a real lady. That's Flip Wilson.
This is too much. what?
Yeah, well, come on now.
Don't touch me.
Now don't touch me, sucker.
Don't touch me, Ralph. You don't know me that well. You haven't been in my life but 2 minutes, honey.
Geraldine, I'm Ralph Edwards.
I don't care if you Prince Edwards. Just say, Geraldine, will you join me on the stage where we have your check?
All right, Geraldine, I'll say, will you join me on the stage?
Yes, Ralph, I will.
All right, just go right ahead.
Don't walk behind me, Ralph.
I'm just going to do all this.
Yeah. I'll go after you, Ralph. We're equal, right?
Very unusual, a man following me. Oh, I want to tell you, we just want to tell everybody about your life. It's all in here. I tell you everything you've done.
Everything?
Everything, sucker!
Woo! Ralph, if you tell him everything tomorrow, this place is going to be a bowling alley. Woo!
All right. If you do Geraldine, I'll
Pitch
try.
Rob.
I'll
I'll get
Shebene.
Rob on the phone, and I will pitch me as the modern day Geraldine.
Oh my God!
To anchor his new all-female
Super edgy,
counterpoint to the View. That would be awesome, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we got some great footage out of hell if I know of a Hooters waitress trying to make out with the cop during a DUI arrest. Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna make out here. Okay. We're gonna make out here.
No, we are not. Here,
Turn off the lights.
stop right there.
Turn off the lights. We're gonna make out.
Wait. Stay right there for
Oh,
me.
it's my bad. It's my bad.
All right.
I gotta pee, bro.
I know. I have to pee as well.
Bro. I gotta pee.
Okay, do you want to try this first exercise for me?
I will do anything for you, Daddy. God damn.
All right.
You in that suit? I'll do fucking anything for you.
Can you put your feet together
I'll put my feet together.
and your hands on your side?
Whatever you say, Daddy.
Okay. Now
I'll
before
put
we
my hand on my
start,
hip.
no, I was grabbing my flashlight.
Oh, whatever you want, Daddy.
Okay. Before we start,
hey, fair shirt.
are you wearing
Fair
contacts
shirt.
right now?
Are you wearing contacts right now?
No, I'm wearing glasses.
No, I am wearing
hold on.
contacts. Wait,
She's
you
showing
see
her
this?
tits. Huh?
I am wearing contacts.
Sophia,
Did you see this?
can you put your shirt on?
I am wearing contacts.
Can you put your shirt on?
I am wearing contacts. I swear to God, I'm wearing contacts.
Hold on, I want you to think for like 2 seconds.
I am wearing contacts.
Sophia.
You might have glasses, but I am wearing contacts.
Hey, Sophia.
I swear to God, I'm wearing contacts.
Like 2 seconds.
Why are you such a nerd, bro?
In all seriousness.
Bro, don't be such a fucking nerd, bro.
What do you think? What do you think is a higher batting average? Would you say hot chick offering up a blowjob to get out of whatever?
Yeah.
Or dude with $2,000 cash.
Hot chick blowjob all day. Because you got to get some pencil pushing cop. You know, you offer him 2 G's and then he like gets all like nervous and like says, "What if Internal Affairs gets after me about this? What if this is a setup?"
But a blowjob?
Blowjob is like at that point you're already in there. I mean, what's really ruining it for all those guys?
What do you think the number cash-wise would have to be to have got even with the blowjob?
I'll say $8,000 to $10,000, not $1.5 million.
1.5?
Yeah.
She's from Florida.
God bless her heart.
Yeah.
I'll follow her on Instagram.
Yeah, she looks pretty cute. Yeah.
You know, I feel bad for her. You know, it's just like worst day of her life was on body cam. She just slam hammered trying to get out of a DUI. But, you know, damn, it's fun fodder for us.
I kind of feel sorry for her boyfriend.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that is not the information you'd want out on your girlfriend. That she just basically offered up a blowjob.
Yeah.
But also, there's a thing, it's called dude maintain, where you're drunk and you try to pretend like you're not drunk.
Now, she was past that point. She was in that very myopic stage where she's just repeating what he said and like going back to like hot chick mode where, I could get anything if I just act cute. And it didn't work out for her. But wait, with no body cam, how does this story go?
Oh, I mean, that's the whole thing. No body cam. She could say he grabbed my titty and I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
But the body cam ends up, the body cam stuff that they thought was going to stop police brutality actually ended up stopping more cases of false allegations against cops.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
I think both sides, yeah.
Yeah.
It stopped them from being able to just do whatever they want because they do. But it also stopped guys from lying and saying, "Oh, you
yeah, it worked both ways." But they didn't think the unintended consequences is it ended up fucking up more people who made false claims against the cops, which they never thought it was even there in the first place. We did a man show bit once that I didn't write. That was like. I think it was called Beavers instead of Hooters or something. I don't know. I can't remember that bit, but there was a man show bit that was like a send up of Hooters. And
I remember that. Yeah. It's striking a chord.
Was it called Beavers? I can't even remember if and Hooters. They're not even a Hooters out here anymore.
I
is there?
don't think so. I think they all
they got
closed.
like Buffalo Wild Winged them up.
Exactly, yeah.
And Tilted Kilt or something.
Tilted Kilt is the comparable version today, yeah.
Is that what it is?
It's like cute chicks and,
Yeah. Was it called Beavers? Well, we'll see if there's a man show. If there's a man show bit. Like I said, I didn't write it. I didn't act in it. It was all one of our writers and then went and shot it and whatever. Maybe I punched up the script a little bit, but I don't really know. All right, you got Diane Farr's waiting out there, or she's going to come in and she's going to zoom in.
All right, well, the last
she's
crazy
zooming
story,
in, right?
Yeah, she's zooming in.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, the last crazy story is a tech entrepreneur. Troy.
Oh, wait, Beavers? Is this called Beavers?
Oh, wait, here it is. Oh, wow, you found this.
In the mood for something different?
And how?
Then come into Beavers, America's favorite new theme restaurant. Beavers. Good times, great drinks, and mouth-watering food that'll leave you saying, "We love Beavers."
I want the clam strips.
And I'll have the big beaver.
The Big Beaver, done any way you like it. So how do you like your Big Beaver?
I like my Big Beaver hot and juicy with lots of cheese.
I like my Big Beaver pink in the middle.
We come here all the time.
For a nice picnic, try our box lunches.
Beavers, there's one opening up near you.
I must have done a man show outdoors show. We would do the man show of women's. We did the women's show. I guess we'd do an outdoor show.
Yeah.
That must have been like, we went fishing with the fridge.
Yeah, I remember this episode. Yeah.
I was just telling somebody the fridge. He gave me very sagely advice. I caught a fish.
Yeah.
When we were fishing with the fridge, and he looked at me and he went, I go, "Fridge, I caught a fish." And he looked at me and he goes, "You done worked your way up to a 0, son." And I always thought about that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, felt good. Getting insulted by the fridge. All I remember is the fridge, 2 things. Huge bear-like paws.
Mitts.
With not a Super Bowl ring, but a big-ass ring on it. And we're just drinking beer on the boat, and you just hand him your beer bottle, and he just go plop. Just take his big bear paw on it, hook it on his ring, and just pop. It was like you just hand it to him. And he's like pop, pop, pop. Another cold one, fridge, like pop. And he was going to put a pig in the ground at home. He was pumped up because he was going to put a pig in the ground. It must have been the outdoor show. All right. Old friend, Diane Farr, who's very interesting. I met her on Loveline. She was a co-host on Loveline a million years ago, and we've always stayed friends. She's a great actress. put her in my movies, my love interest. It was all great. The great Diane Farr is going to join me right after this. Him's hair. There you go. Man, when you leave the house, you check your phone, you check your wallet, you check your key. How about your hair? How about your look? If you're experiencing a little hair loss, well, you may not feel as confident as you could, and that's where Hims comes in. Get your confidence back. Hims provides a range of doctor-trusted hair loss treatments, chewable, oral, spray, serum. It's all there. Do it all from the comfort of your own home. Simple, 100% online process. Just answer a few questions, and a medical provider will determine if treatment is right for you. If prescribed, treatment is sent direct to your door. No insurance needed. One low price covers everything from treatments to ongoing care. It's Hims, right, Dawson?
Start your free online visit today at hims.com/Adam. That's HIMS.com/Adam for your personalized hair loss treatment options. Hims.com/Adam. Results vary based on studies of topical and oral minoxidil. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. The Adam Carolla Show presents Diane Farr's birthday cocktail party for September 7th. Let's see who's invited. Here's the daughter of Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn, Queen of England and Ireland, Elizabeth I. Let's welcome the first coach of the Cleveland Browns and their namesake, Paul Brown. Here's the guy who directed A Streetcar Named Desire, On the Waterfront, and East of Eden, Elia Kazan. Half of Hewlett-Packard is here. Let's welcome David Packard. Here's the co-founder of the LPGA, Louise Suggs. American paranormal investigator Ed Warren is here. From Getty Oil, let's welcome John Paul Getty Jr. Gloria Gaynor will survive. Marge Simpson is here. That's Julie Kavner. From The Pretenders, let's welcome Chrissy Hind. Tom Petty's keyboardist is here. His name is Benmont Tench. Here's songwriter Diane Warren. The female vocalist for Afternoon Delight, Margot Chapman. From NWA, let's welcome Eric Wright, a.k.a. Eazy-E. From Saturday Night Live fame, Leslie Jones is here. Here's actress Shannon Elizabeth. Evan Rachel Wood is here. And that'll be the day. Let's welcome Buddy Holly. Diane Farr is on the Adam Carolla Show.
Man, that is the longest and most eclectic birthday list I think we've ever done. All I have is Todd Bridges from Facts of Life. Oh no, from Different Strokes. All I have is Todd Bridges. On my birthday, I only have Todd Bridges.
What month are you?
May 27th.
But I'm like a Christmas, New Year's baby. So there's far more action happening around Christmas, New Year's.
I wish it could be explained away, but I think of it, I think it's more of a just sort of metaphor for me. You know, like, who do you got? You get the Hewlett-Packard guy, and I got Todd Bridges, and you get Chrissy Hines. Chrissy Hines, I love The Pretenders.
Yes.
I can't believe you got Chrissy Hines, and I didn't.
And Buddy Holly.
I love Buddy Holly. Buddy Holly's so good that there's a great band called the Hollies that were named after Buddy Holly. That's not only did we get Buddy Holly, but we got the Hollies, which is a great band. All right, anyway. Dan Farr, Fire Country, CBS. It's Bruckheimer's bag, and and I think I was just sent an article about that you wrote to the Hollywood Reporter a couple of weeks ago. I don't even know if the person who sent it to me knew you were coming on, but they knew we're friends, and it was a very interesting article about directing, because you're now directing, right?
I did one. So now, of course, I think I'm a director because I've done that whole 1 hour. But for, 400 episodes of TV, I've had a front row look at directors for 30 years. And most of them make it harder than it needs to be. And if it's hard on me or you on camera for a minimum of 12 hours, and that's 14 to 16 for the crew.
Yeah.
So my article was like, this is left over from when we shot with one camera. When there's one camera that had film rolling inside of it, and it was too expensive to print all of it. You'd have to shoot every angle one at a time. And that's been done for 15 years, but we kept the same hours. So when you work on long form television, it's not like we're doing 80-hour weeks for 4 months or 1 week on, 1 week off, or 2 days on, 2 days off. It's 9 to 10 months, just kind of like the death of a relationship, mental health. I was like, I think there's a way to do this in 10 hours.
Yeah, I agree that the hours are really, really long. And also there's a lot of unnecessary stuff. Like, I don't know why I've always complained, like they always have to go get the insert shot. Like, I'll show you, like this is how they do it. I don't know if they still do it this way. They go, show the car pulling up to the driveway and the guy gets out of the car. Then show the close-up of the hand turning the key on the front door. Then show the door closed. It's like, I just put him in the living room. It's his house. How do we know how he got in? Like, you can't just have him pull up and then just cut the living room. We have to get a shot of a guy putting a key and turning it? Yeah, we got to get the insert. So I'm like, what do you need that for? Just have him be in his house. And I don't know if they still do that. Do they still do that?
They still do that, except now most of the time you have 2 or 3. Sometimes we have 5 cameras on a given day. So on a day where I had to do inserts, like literally it's supposed to be a firefighter with oxygen on their back and the tank is supposed to be almost empty. So they wanted an insert of the gauge.
Right.
So while I was shooting another scene, I took my 3rd camera and I sent it over to the corner with somebody else's gloved hand and shot the insert while I was shooting something valuable, emotional, important. Because I, like you, do not want to stop a whole day to shoot this finite thing that probably won't be included.
I saw, and always made me think of you. I've been seeing this commercial. I think Dennis Leary is coming on a show or is on a comedy on Fox now. And you work with Dennis for so many years. And I have no understanding of him at all. I feel like I've worked with everyone or sort of know everyone, or certainly in the comedy world where I go, oh, that guy's a cool guy, or he's a nice guy, or that guy's kind of a douche, or I don't like that guy, or I know that guy and he's awesome. I know nothing of Dennis Leary. I feel like I've seen him my whole life. I've never been at a club and had him perform in front of me or after me. I've never been at a party and seen him at a cocktail party. I've never done a project where he's been there. I've done everything, and I have no Dennis Leary stories. And I can't figure out, is he reclusive? What is he? What is Dennis Leary? Like, I'd love to talk to him, but I've never seen him anywhere. I don't feel like I see him on the circuit, talk shows and things like that.
He's an East Coast guy, so I think that's the first thing. He's much more New York and Connecticut. And I think you're both kind of similar in that you have your own fiefdoms. Like I don't think he's gone out on the road for years except for his charities. And that's more like Comics Come Home in Boston, where he throws the event and he's bringing all the comics that he works with to him, sort of like how you build sort of an empire. So I don't think he really goes out on the road. And then any of the talk shows that I can think of, we were filming, like if he was going to do one of the late night shows, he'd do it on a work date and he'd have the studio fly him over, but everything else was just on the East Coast.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Is he nice? Is he a workaholic? Like what's his vibe?
He's really smart. He's really funny. He's really loyal. He's a great guy. I don't know if he's a workaholic. He's kind of like a hockeyaholic. He plays a lot of hockey. He keeps a great stable of friends, and he's super loyal to them. When I was doing the shows with him, he wrote them, they produced them, he starred in them, and it was like the birth of FX by the time we were doing Rescue Me. So, there was nobody around. It was just our producers running the whole thing. Lot of leadership. He's a very hands-on person. He's definitely running all the things he's doing. I'd love to see what he's like working on. I think the show you're talking about is with Ray Romano and Lisa Kudrow. I saw the commercial for it.
Yeah.
I'd love to see what he's like as a guest on somebody's, because every job I ever did with him, he was running everything, and he was running it really well.
And you're in Vancouver right now shooting. What's the schedule? And where is what's the schedule? Like how many weeks, months, or whatever? Vancouver's amazing, but still not home.
Amazing. It's not home. And when you start, it was like a pilot, and wow, that's exciting. And then the first order was for 13, and that was 6 months, which felt like a really big movie. And then the first year we got it back 9. And I was like, that's 10 months in Vancouver. I live here. Who am I kidding? I visit Southern California. So this year, then we had a strike year, which was weird. And we were lucky to get to do 10. And this year we're doing an order for 20. So it's 9 months of the year that I'm here. And some of them aren't the great months. Some of them are the dark, cold, dark by 4 o'clock months.
You pretty much worked your entire adult life in show business. And I do think about you from time to time, because I think with women and as a comedian, you can just kind of work in perpetuity. It may not be the same work you were doing a decade ago or 2 decades ago or whenever you were on top or whatever that is, but you can just sort of work. And then it sort of becomes almost like a job that's not really show business. It's just you work, you travel, you work, you do stuff. But for women, especially beautiful women, it's like they age out sometimes. Like the phone stops ringing. Like the business is hard, and it's here today and gone tomorrow and all that kind of stuff. And to continuously work is just it's a monumental task, but there's more to it than just sort of being talented and mostly sober. There's got to be some planning, and like, what are you doing that other people aren't doing who sort of burn out, dry up, and slough off?
I think I keep pitching things. Like I keep trying. Like I've never been an actor that sits at home and waits for the phone to ring, because I think I'd die of starvation. I envy those people that also take a lot of playtime. And I would say I never go surfing on my days off. I'll just write a book or an article or a story or pitch a TV show. But I also was never an ingenue. Like I didn't work in my 20s. I didn't really start to work till my late 20s, almost 30. When we were doing Loveline, I think I was 28 to 30. And I just always seemed a little bit older, I think. So that has served me well. Like I was not hanging on to like any kind of a prom queen, beauty queen, like aren't I cute in my short dress? That was never my ride. So it's definitely paying off in my 50s, it feels like.
Yeah. You're one of the few people whose hair is longer now than it was when you were 28. Females.
Oh my goodness.
But you were a model for some time, right?
I definitely was, but I don't know. I grew up in New York. That was probably why I was a model, and because I was tall, but it definitely wasn't valued in my family of origin. Like it definitely was like, yeah, you can do this to make a living, but you got to come up with something real to do. So I studied theater, and then I got a hustler in me. I think you and I are the same that way. Like my dad is a contractor. It was like constantly, my head's constantly going with what is the next thing. And even dating after divorce has been really funny to see how other adult people live their life, run their business. And so many of the men I've dated have said, you never stop working. And they don't mean that I'm going from job to job. They mean like on my day off, I'm like, oh, what if we knock down this wall and build a loft here above the kitchen? Like my brain is like a wheel.
Yeah. No, I agree because I've always sort of described it this way, and I feel you're this way. I feel like I'm a train, and the train is going 100 miles an hour down the tracks, and I have to run out in front and keep throwing track down. Because the second I stop throwing track down, it just goes right off into the desert, And I'm like, I got to keep in front of the train and throw the stuff out there. And this business, stuff has like lead time of a year or longer, or projects. I mean, you talk to people that are talking about projects that are years old now, or a book, or whatever film, whatever series. And it's like, it's all throwing track out because the train's coming, but you got to be 9 months in front of the train, not 2 days in front of the train. And I always just feel, I don't feel insecure, but I just feel like the day I stop throwing track out, the next day it's going off.
100% agree. I feel like if I sat on my couch and waited for someone to call me and said, "Do you want to come to work?" I'd never work again.
Yeah, but that's I think it serves you. I don't know if it's. I know people don't like saying low self-esteem. But I had low or no self-esteem. I was like, who's going to call you? Why would anyone put you in a movie? You want to be in a TV series, and you better come up with a good idea for a TV series, because no one's going to cast you in a TV series. Why would they do that? Like, that's the way I always felt. I remember very clearly being in La Crescenta, California, nearest to where you live. But a little more on the wrong side of the tracks, renting a house off of Lowell, the exit on 210, Lowell, a house on Altura, a whole little ranch house with my roommates like 30 years ago, a little bit more. And my roommate Ralph I just came into the living room one day, and he was just stuffing all his headshots and his resume into manila envelopes. And I'm like, what are you doing with that, Ralph? He's like, going to get an agent. I'm like, how's that work? I put my headshot in, and then I give him my envelope, give him the envelope, and then I get an agent. I was like, who's going to do that? It's like, I don't know. That's how it works. I was like, he's like, you should get a headshot and put it in the envelope and hand him out and get an agent. And I was like, I don't think anyone's going to do that. I don't think anyone would agree to do that based on my headshot or whatever bullshit was on the back of my headshot. I do English and Western style horseback riding. Like, now, I think I'm going to have to do something. And I just went out and started doing something. And 6 months later, William Morris came to me and signed me. So it ended up working out. But I'm saying, it's like, I never thought of putting a headshot in an envelope. I was like, no one's going to do this.
You're amazing, though. Even when we were like super young, I always admired that you and I would be doing Loveline, and you would have something for a movie the day before, and I'd have something for a TV show. And you're like, I got to that waiting room. There was like 20 guys. They wanted me to wait 20 minutes. So I just left. Oh. And then you'd like get the job. And I'd be like, I'm such a sucker. I sat in that room for an hour and I didn't get the job.
Oh, you're talking about auditions?
Yes.
I resented, the thing about auditions that I figured out is I'd go into the waiting room and there'd be 9 guys sitting there, right? And I'd go, my audition is at noon. And then the guy'd go, that's when my one is. And I go, what time was your call time? Noon. And I go, wait a minute, they told all of us to show up at noon? Yep. I go, shouldn't they have staggered it? Like, nope. I'm like, well, where are they? They go, oh, they're eating lunch.
Oh.
So I said to everyone once, I go, come on, let's leave. Let's all just leave. Let's just leave. We're not ever going to get this job. And fuck them. They told us all show up at noon, and now they're just in there eating lunch while we're all supposed to be sitting out here. I go, let's go. Let's do this. And they looked at me. I was doing Loveline and The Man Show at the time, and I looked at this guy, I go, get up. Let's go. Let's all leave right now. Let's send a message. And the guy goes, you have 2 TV shows. I go, yeah. We have no shows. So you leave. And I go, oh, all right. Yeah, I am. Okay, I'm going to leave.
Oh my gosh. But I learned from you. I used to have a 30-minute rule. After 30 minutes, I would leave. And that was that. I was like, no. I think that's the same thing I'm trying to say with the 12-hour day. Like, just because the unions have agreed that you can, we can call it a regular day's work for 12 hours, that the overtime doesn't start till after that. I was like, I don't really think that's healthy anymore. And I don't think it's necessary anymore. So why don't we update that?
I agree. I mean, it's also, it gets really, I mean, sometimes you're going home and it's 8, 9 at night and you have to be on set at 6 like the next morning, and you just keep doing it over and over again. And it really, especially now, what they're finding out about sleep and how important it is to cognition and how early Alzheimer's. And I was talking to Dr. Drew, our favorite, and he's like, oh, there's a whole bunch of tests that basically just says sleep deprivation causes Alzheimer's disease. And I'm like, oh, yeah, you got to sleep. Like all those early mornings. I mean, if you think about it, when you're sleep deprived, it's as if you have Alzheimer's. Like you can't remember shit. Right, you're looking around like you're in that state. Like, why is your brain in this state of this disease, essentially, which becomes permanent at some point? But the super sleep deprived days, can't remember where's my keys. I can't think of my daughter's middle name. Like, your brain immediately goes full grandpa. Like, I mean, it cannot be. It has to be bad for you because it feels so bad.
Yes.
Like every cell in your body's going, no.
Yes.
Yes.
And then you're like, what drugs can I take to keep working? Can I take this energy drink, which is definitely bad for me? Can I drink my 7th cup of coffee?
Yes.
And, you're talking about going home at 8, 9 at night and then going to work at 6 in the morning. I thought you were going to say when you're going home at 8, 9 in the morning, because you started at, the beginning of the week, we start at 5 in the morning. And if you're on a really hard show, you might be starting at 5 at night by Friday and working till 9 in the morning on Saturday. And then Monday morning, you're back at 5. And these are my call time hours, which are princess hours compared to what the crew's doing.
Yeah, it is. People think it's a really sort of soft, show busy, Hollywoody, whatever. But, and also you and I know, like, shooting a low budget film is like 19 days of the craziest hours ever. But if you're doing a TV show, then it's just sort of that in perpetuity.
Exactly.
I think it's good. They've made a lot of progress in a lot of different realms, and this is one they should definitely work on. And
when we're doing an independent film, and we know it's 18-hour days for 19 days straight, it's like a little marathon. You understand the concept. But once you get past this little indie short-term thing, I'm like, that's what kills your marriage. That's what causes you to have no relationship with your kids. And then you're like, well, do I do my career or do I take care of my kids? I didn't take a job out of Los Angeles when I had the 3 kids. The rule was only a job in cable, only in comedy, only in LA. And I did that for 15 years. And I feel like I almost ruined my career because I waited long to have them. I was almost 40 when I had them. And I was like, I can't miss it all. I can't live in a trailer somewhere else while somebody else is raising them. So I'm so thankful that the work came back when they got big enough. After the pandemic, they were all teenagers and really angry at mom all the time. And I was like, I can go.
Yeah.
Mom can leave. This job came in and I was like, I'm going to go to Vancouver, bitches. You're on your own. Stay with Dad. You can come and visit.
Yeah. I know. I feel the same way about my kids. I mean, at a certain point, it dawns on you. You go like, you want to go out to dinner Friday night? And they go, I kind of made plans with my friends. And you're like, oh, you don't want this either. Oh, okay. You don't want to be around me. I mean, God, when I was a kid, I didn't want to spend 10 minutes with my parents. I think it's a little better now. I don't think
it's a little better now, but also our parents weren't offering to do shit with us in comparison. I have said to them, do you want to go to Hawaii for a week? And they're like, no, I just want to stay here and play video games. And I'm like, all right, okay. I'm like down to the point, like, well, what if I don't complain if I know you guys are drinking?
What
am I perpetrating here?
I know it's such, I don't know, time-wise, it hasn't been that long, but it's a completely different universe. And I will say that being raised, certainly the way I got raised was probably overdoing it in the Oliver Twist sort of department. But raising my kids in this, giant bouncy castle is probably overcompensating in the other department. There's probably somewhere in the middle that's just a happy medium. Like when you date, you're talking about being single and going out on dates and work, and the guy's sort of accusing you. Well, I don't say accusing, but I just mean having the observation that you work all the time. There is a balance, because somebody's working all the time is kind of a bummer as a mate, but someone who hates work I've been with a few of them.
Oh boy.
That's no good either.
No, that's way scarier than the work all the time, because the work all the time person is going to have some period off and have some money to do something. I saw on a dating app one time. It was the rudest thing I ever saw, but I got the point. The guy was saying, like, he had some really expensive hobbies. I don't remember, skiing or scuba diving, like something you can't do on like a fresh out of college budget. And he said, I'd like to travel. I like to do all these things. If you can't afford your half of them, please swipe left.
Wow.
It's like, wow. Same thing. But I was like, I kind of get it. Because when you're dating and you're grown up, it feels like, do I have to carry you? Or are you worried about carrying me? Mm-hmm. I know most of the time I've dated a whole bunch of men that had stay-at-home wives or stay-at-home girlfriends. And I'm always like, that is so anathema to who I am. I'm often like, tell me what happens on the day you and her decide that she's not going to work anymore. Like, what's that conversation like? Because when you met her, she was an adult who had to take care of herself. And then at some point in the relationship, you guys decided that one person would work and the other would take care of that person. Nobody ever remembers the conversation. Mm. It always just sort of turns into this. So I feel like if that's the kind of lady you like to date, I'm not the lady for you.
Where do you, I think there's a popular characterization of men, which is they're insecure when their woman makes good money. And I'm like, man, I'd like to try that out for a few minutes. God, I would fucking love that. But and then I talk to guys and they always go, no, I wish my girlfriend or my wife like made a shitload of money. But you're real successful and you work real hard. What is that dynamic when you're with the guy who's not as successful?
I think the biggest thing is that, like, we just have to admit that it is a different power exchange. Like, I've been dating a guy for 2 years. He's lovely. He's fun. He has his own money. He's a director. He's a cool guy. And the first time I tried to pay for dinner, he literally laughed out loud. He was like, you're going to pay for that? I was like, of course I'm going to pay for that. What am I, your child? You're going to pay for me every time we go out? And he was so uncomfortable with it. And he was like saying the same thing that you just said. This is great. I love this. And I was like, just so you know, we have equal say in things now. Like we have equal say in the holiday. We have equal say in the when. We have equal say in the time. And it was not a hard adjustment. It's been harder for me at times if I've dated a guy who's, a struggling artist and has no money. And I'm like, well, why don't we go on the ski trip? I'm going to cover all this because I'm going anyway. So please come as my guest. It's never felt great.
Yeah. I also think that we always sort of talk about money like it's just money, but it's really sort of a byproduct of work ethic and detail and attention to detail and focus and ability. And it means a whole bunch of different stuff. It's not just cash,
Yeah. And it's currency, right? Like in the relationship, sometimes it's currency. Like if your favorite restaurant is $500 a night, you can't ask to go to that restaurant unless you have the money to pay for it. So it definitely changes the dynamic.
Yeah. I kind of think I wouldn't want to be with a person that was poor, but not because I didn't have money or they didn't have money, but more like I come from poor people. They're like poor for a reason. You know what I mean? Like they weren't struggling artists. They were mainly lazy adults who weren't really that motivated. And I would have been turned off not by their bank account, but by their persona of their personality of being an unmotivated, uninteresting person that way. Like I like the motor, man. Like I just like it when people, because the motor also says engagement. Like they're just into stuff.
Yes, I agree. I feel like so much of where I grew up, the culture, the place, people were distracted. Like there was a lot of alcoholism in my family. There was a lot of alcoholism, I think just in the 70s. And there was so much aggression in New York. And I feel like they were just distracted by things, like whether that was arguing with people or drinking, or I feel like those things got in the way of it. So today I don't hang out with anyone that has like a big drinking problem. That's not my thing, but I always look at people like, what are they distracted by? Are they super into politics? Are they super into self-healing? Are they obsessed with their house to the point where they don't ever go on vacation? Like, are they the guy that has to wash their car every time it rains? Like whatever the distraction is, I'm like, that might be a determining factor for me.
I was thinking about that today as it pertained to religion. Like folks that are super religious.
Yeah.
And I thought, I was thinking about the super Islamists who are like, I got to spread Sharia law. It's like, I don't know. It seems like a full-time job, man. Like, don't you like water skiing or anything? Like, it doesn't even matter what the religion is. Once it becomes like a job, and then you got to spread it, and especially when you get into, it's not just me being religious. I cannot tolerate anyone around me not being religious, and I'm going to have to do something about it if they're not. And it's like, wow, that feels like a time suck to me. That just feels like that's all you're going to be doing. And I guess in a weird way, that's the point, but I thought, God, I'm way too selfish. There's so many things to do. There's not enough time. There's so many experiences to have. And to be deeply religious, especially, like I said, to the point where I had to convert everyone around me or kill them or do something with them. I was like, God, that's all you're doing all day, every day.
Super agree. Anybody that's on an obsessive track of one thing, particularly religiosity, like that would drive me bananas. You remember my ex-husband saying when we were engaged, I said to him once, if you became an alcoholic, I could deal with that. I would know how to deal with that. But if you like became a frontline cheerleader for Jesus, I'm out.
Yeah.
I was like, there are certain things that you could be obsessed with that I could watch. I could watch that show. There are certain things you could be obsessed with that I'm like, there's more exciting things to do.
Everyone in my orbit plays fantasy football.
Oh boy.
And all they do is send shitty emails back and forth to each other like all night about trade deadline bullshit and about, how Kevin fucked them by trading Kelsey at the last minute or whatever it is. And then they stopped trying, but they would try to encourage me to join them. And I would go, no, I don't want to do this. It seems like it's all it does is take time. And look, hobbies, great. Like, whatever floats your boat. They're all gainfully employed. And, Kevin Hench is one of them. We know these guys.
Kevin.
I love all these guys, but they spend an inordinate amount of time shooting shitty emails back and forth to each other in the wee hours of the night. And I'm like, I don't know. I feel the same about video games. I've never played a video game in my life just because I don't want to get sucked into it. Like people go, oh, you got to play Commander of War. You'll look up and 8 hours will have gone by. It's like I know that's not. I don't want it. It's so good, dude. I'm like, I bet it is.
Oh
and I don't want to get sucked into that.
You and me both. Same. The only thing I get sucked into like that, but I don't mind it, is my house. Because like you, I could tinker with little things in the house all the time. But you have to leave the house. Like I feel like at some point I have to leave the house. And the other thing I really like to do is travel. And you cannot travel all the time. So I kind of feel like I'm handpicking my hobbies that make me stay interested in multiple things.
Yes. Any shows that you're working on, or movies or books, or
I am working
anything?
on Fire Country, and there's time for nothing else.
Nothing else. Do we want this? What are we in, the third season?
I'm in the third season, and we're shooting the last 4, which is like the last 2 months till the end of February. And there's a spin-off coming of the show called Sheriff Country that's already picked up, and the character is my sister. Her name, Marina Baccarin, is playing the part, and she's fantastic. And that's going to shoot in Toronto. It starts in April, so I may be going back and forth a little bit to that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the job that changes your kids' lives. Like all the kids can go to the fancy college.
Do you want this to be one of those NYPD Blue or Blue Bloods or whatever shows with the word blue in it, or country, something like where they just fire, where it just never ends. It just like, because it's blessing and cursy. It's great. It's gainful employment for the foreseeable future in a market that's not stable, called show business. On the other hand, it does just become your life.
Yeah, it does become your day job. Here's the funny thing. I'm 55 and I think all the time about retirement. And I'm never going to stop working. But the thing you're talking about laying down the tracks, I do want to stop chasing work at some point. Mm-hmm. So then I'm like, I would love to do this job because in perpetuity, because I have figured out how to make my own little art jobs that are not dependent on money. I'm not dependent on them to be solvent. So all these articles that I've been writing, and I've been doing it for 2 years. I think at the moment I have 5 of them due. And they're due from like AARP and the Wall Street Journal and Rolling Stone. They're such different places. And originally when I started, one of the agents was like, this is perfect. You're going to make your own IP. Stop writing books. Just do this. It takes 1 month as opposed to 5 years. And now I'm like, no, I don't need to make an IP. I don't need to make a TV show out of it. I just want to use my voice. I've collected a bunch of information, or dare I say wisdom. I'm like, let me say it. Let me say it. Let me see if I can affect change. And I dream about the house on the coast in Italy that I'm going to go live in.
Well, from your mouth to God's ears, Diane Farr. Fire Country, CBS. Going into the few more episodes left here. CBS, Friday nights, 9 p.m. I hope when you get a break and you're back in town, you and I can meet at some cozy cafe and ride your motorcycle over. And
did you get a motorcycle?
No. No. But I would like to ride yours next time I see you.
All right. You can. It's a Ducati. You have a license, right?
I had a license to ride a motorcycle when it was my only form of transportation, and I was pulled over and didn't have a license to ride a motorcycle, and then the motorcycle got impounded, and then I had to hitchhike to the DMV and get a temporary motorcycle license, and then ended up getting a motorcycle license. So I did have a motorcycle license. Now, I don't know if it expires.
I don't know either.
What is it? I got to check my license. It'll have a number or something on it, right?
I think it's a class. I think you're in one more class of driver. But yeah, we talked about this so long ago. Come on, my friend. I know you have 1,000 beautiful cars, but you can work this part out. It's very fun.
You know what I'll do? I think we should do, when you come back, I bet you Leno would let me borrow one of his motorcycles.
Oh, yes, please. I'll ride you over. I've never ridden anyone on the back. That scares the crap out of me because as the driver, if the bike's going to go down, you know it. But the person on the back doesn't. And I was like, I'm never putting anybody back there. But yes, let's please go to Jay Leno's house and pick you up a bike and go riding.
Well, we'll go to a shop. But yes. All right. So hit me up when you come back, Diane Farr from Vancouver. Great seeing you, my dear.
Love to you. Bye, Adam.
Always great to see Diane Farr. All right. Me, Vegas, Thursday doing stand-up. Then Solana Beach on the 19th with doing a couple shows there. Jay Moore's going to be there. Covina, Laugh Factory, doing, I think that's a live podcast. Somebody can check that one. January 22nd. Sorry. And then January 30th. Boca Raton, and then Naples, January 31st, through the something. I think we got to check these dates here, because Naples again. I'm sorry. Now I got February 1st. That's right. Anyway, go to AdamCarolla.com for all the live shows. Until next time, it's Adam Carolla for Diane Farr and Mayhem Miller saying mahalo.